Alright YouTube, we have our 2010 Malibu with the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine in it. It is back today. What we're going to be doing on this guy today is the front main seal behind the harmonic balancer or crank pulley. It's slinging some oil. So if you remember, I did point inspection on this particular vehicle. I did see the oil, but come to find out there was a previous valve cover gasket replacement on this vehicle, so I kind of dismissed that as whomever did the repairs didn't properly clean up their mess. Fast forward here a few months now, the vehicle is back, and we are going to be looking at this. I've already taken another look at it and actually diagged the main seal leak. So we're going to be tearing into this guy today. Alright, now that we got the wheel taken off, just before you get started, there's going to be some shielding and stuff that you're going to have to move out of the way. You got these push pins right here, right there, and a couple of other miscellaneous ones. I think one may be hidden. That one's missing back there. Okay, so to be able to access everything, you're going to need to remove this guard right here to be able to get to the engine. Alright, so next, what you're going to want to do after you get that guard piece out of the way, you can see the crank pulley right here, and you can see where it's just been slinging oil everywhere. You're going to need a 21mm 6-point socket, half-inch drive, and impact to be able to remove this bolt. You remove this bolt, the harmonic balancer will then come off. Also, what you're going to need to do is take the belt off of the harmonic balancer. If I move this kind of out of the way, you can kind of see the belt down there on the alternator pulley. But if you look down a little bit further, that pulley right there, that is the idler pulley or tensioner pulley. On the front of that bracket right there, I know it's kind of hard to see, you can't really see it, but a little ways down from the end, you see what looks kind of like a little square drive there. That's for a 3/8 ratchet. So what you want to do is you want to take the 3/8 ratchet, put it in its right direction, and use that the drive of the 3/8 ratchet in that hole there, and use it you know, kind of as a pry bar to relieve the tension off the tensioner pulley in that idler, to get slack in the belt to be able to take it off the harmonic balancer. To be able to gain you a little bit better access, you'll need to take out the lower air box, the upper air box. Be careful, it does have the MAP sensor in there, or MAF sensor, controlled and monitors airflow into the engine. You definitely don't want to mess that up. Also, you want to remove the air filter out of the upper and lower box assembly. Get all of that out of the way, so you have a little bit more room to work. It goes right here in this hole. That duct right there slides into here. Of course, there is the electrical connection for the MAF sensor. You have a 10mm securement right there, and then on this back wall here, it's just two rubber grommets that push in to the body. So that's how you would remove that. Alright, so as I said before, once you get the belt down and removed, and you get the 21mm bolt out of the way, you unbolt that. The harmonic balancer or the crank pulley will slide right out. I do want to make a note of something though. It may be a little difficult to see, but if you look in there, there is 2 slots and also a keyway. All right, when you're putting everything back together, you want to make sure that you line all of that stuff up. I.e., if you look here on the harmonic balancer, there's top and bottom slotted with a keyway right there in the middle. So you want to make sure that you get all of those lined up when you're putting everything back together. The slotted on the outside, that controls the oil pump, and the keyway locks the harmonic balancer to the crankshaft pulley to make sure that it spins. All right, so if you notice this little black ring right here, that is your crank seal, and as you can see, it has been leaking pretty good. So what you want to do is you want to take a seal puller of some type, something similar to this. You want to be able to get on the inside of that seal, and you should be able to just pop it out, just like that. Okay, so once you get that popped out, this is what the seal looks like. And the inside of this harmonic balancer right here, if you notice, there's a groove right there, more towards the front, the cleaner groove. That's where that harmonic balancer shaft rides inside that seal, and that seal just seals around it. Installation is going to be fairly simple. We need to get all this cleaned up real good, and then be able to go back in with the new seal. Alright, so this is the new seal. After speaking with the customer, they wanted the Mall brand. It was a little bit less expensive. However, I could not get that, and it didn't seem like there was one anywhere near available. So I went with the Felpro part number TCS 46113. Alright, so this is going to be the front main seal for this 2.4 liter that is in the Malibu. Alright, so as you can see, I got the new seal started. Now that little white plastic piece that you see there, that's actually to aid and assist with reinstallation. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take a small punch and a hammer, preferably a dead blow or soft blow hammer, so that way you're not really causing any damage to anything, and kind of tap that in. Now you don't have to beat on it really hard. It's going to go in fairly easily, so to prevent damage to the seal itself, you don't want to hit it very hard. You just want to get it in there good, flat, and seated. And I will show you what that looks like here in just a moment. Alright, so now that the new seal is installed, everything's getting cleaned up. Again, like I said, if you see those 2 slots, top and bottom, and that keyway to the right hand side, make sure that you line your harmonic balancer up with those guys. Otherwise you're going to have trouble. Outside of that, now once you get the harmonic balancer back in there, reinstall your 21 millimeter crank bolt, torque to, I believe, 140 foot-pounds, and then the rest of the reassembly is just putting the belt back on and the tire back on, and a little bit of intake parts, and you're good to go. Alright, as you can see, like I said, harmonic balancer is back on. 21 millimeter crank bolt is back in and was torqued to 140 foot-pounds. You will hear people say that if you have a lot of extensions on your torque wrench, that it will not torque properly. As long as you are in a straight line of sight with what you are torquing, you are fine to do so. It's torque angles that you begin to have a problem with that. But anyway, like I said, reassembly is just reverse of disassembly. not really anything much in the way of special tools required to do this particular job. Just be very careful when you're putting the seal in. And again, like I said, reassembly of everything else just kind of is as per. So you want to take your lower air box, you want to put it in, back in just like so. Get everything lined back up. Alright, just like so. And then, like I said, right here, there is a little P-clip that holds this line in place right here. So you do want to make sure that you re-secure that to the top of that. And then make sure that you tighten that back down. Okay. Okay, so most of that is just make sure all your bracketries are out of the way. Air filter is good. Okay, so there is an alignment tab right here on this filter. It will align to that slot right there. So when you're putting the air filter back in, make sure that you align that correctly or the box will not seal. Okay, you want to put your ducting back on. Again, there's a little tab right there that you have to align things up with. Alright, so as long as you align that up, make sure your electrical connection for your MAP sensor is in its proper place. Make sure that your ducting for your air box is back where it needs to live. And that is being a little difficult. It's also really difficult to do things with one hand. Trying to show you guys how this is done. There you go. Okay, so everything's locked back in place. Alright, all air ducting is being re-secured. Don't have to make it super tight, but some tightening is definitely needed. Otherwise, you'll get intake leaks bypassing the air filter, and that will potentially dust the engine, as it's kind of commonly known, and that's not good for the internals. So I would definitely make sure to take that extra step to make sure all this stuff is good and tight. I know it's a very minuscule step, but that could save you a lot of money in the long run. But so I'm going to wrap this video up. Only thing left to do at this point is put the guard back up and put the tire back on, and that's going to be pretty much a wrap for this.